What is going on, Facebook? Happy Wednesday. Henry Kaminski here from uniquedesignz.net. And today's daily gem is all about how to not lose a ton of potential clients like I did back in the day. So I'm going to take you back in time to about 2011. And for some of you guys may know that I started my design career actually in the nightlife industry. So I designed tons of flyer promotions that you typically got stuck underneath your windshield wiper when you went out to these types of places. And I did that for a good 4 years. It was at the time, it was a very lucrative business, and I was in the scene. My wife and I used to go out to the nightclubs a lot, when we were younger, and it was a lot of fun. I met a lot of cool people, got a lot of clients out of going out, and so I was known as the club flyer guy that had the insane turnaround time. And I consistently blew the doors off of my competition because I was able to get projects done a hell of a lot faster than anyone else, right? But the problem with this was I soon got burnt out, and I didn't want to be part of the scene anymore. I kind of grew out of it and just was sick and tired of the work. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it just wasn't fulfilling anymore, right? And I was dabbling at the time with some corporate design work, which was a lot more lucrative than the club flyer stuff. And the problem was I couldn't get any work because my brand wasn't positioned properly. I was known as the club flyer guy. And that was it. So when the corporate folks did kind of get whiff of me, they looked at my portfolio and they were like, dude, you design club flyers. Like, how the hell are you going to help me, with my business, right? I'm in the salon industry or I'm in the restaurant business. Like, nothing about any of that stuff. And I lost a tremendous amount of clientele that way, because my brand wasn't positioned properly. And so my challenge for you guys today in today's Daily Gem is to pay attention. Pay attention to how your brand is positioned, and understand that if you want to serve a specific audience, that your values and the way you show up to them need to align with their values and what they typically expect. So that's a huge mistake that I made in the past, because what happened was, instead of me pumping the brakes immediately, once I knew that the club flyer work wasn't serving me anymore, to pivot, right? But I went with the easier route. I went down the road of least resistance, and I said, yeah, you know what? I'll just continue doing this club stuff. It's easy, but it was like the straw that broke the camel's back the one day when I was working with several different club promoters and club owners, and I was consistently getting stiffed on payments, and I was getting dragged through the ringer with these tedious and ridiculous requests. And I just said, what am I going to be? I'm going to be 40 years old one day, like designing club flyers for people. Like, that's not what I want to do. That I know that I could create more than that. And I know I can impact more businesses and different types of businesses, but how do I do it? Everybody sees me as the club guy. Like, it's going to be a long, treacherous road. I may have to tell some of my current clients that I don't want to do work with them anymore. And my wife thought I was crazy. Like, you're gonna tell Eugene you don't want to do his work anymore. He's one of your best clients. And I said, unfortunately, I think it's time. It's nothing that any of these individuals did to me. It was me. It was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Right? I want to move on to different things. My business and brand is maturing and I want to get out there. But I lost a tremendous amount of revenue because I didn't change the minute that I started to feel that. And I lost about another 6.5 months until it was the straw that broke the camel's back. And then I finally said, all right, I need to make a difference. I need to make a change in my brand's positioning if I want to attract the corporate clientele. And so what did I have to do? I had to backtrack a little bit. I had to go and do some work pro bono for some of the bigger corporate clients that I was interested in working with to kind of show them that I had the chops, that I had what it takes to work in that type of industry or that type of level of design. And so it took a while, but I shouldn't say unfortunately, but fortunately I was able to build up a tremendous amount of corporate clientele in a very short period of time and reposition my brand. And now I have, it's completely flip-flopped where I do have one or two clients in that industry, the nightlife industry that just it's easy work. You know what I mean? We're able to crank that stuff out really quick, but the majority of my work is all corporate now. But here's the deal. People judge books by their covers. We all do it. And the problem with that is we never get a chance to go to second base if we can't get past that initial judgment, that initial, I don't think they're going to be a good fit for me. They're this type of designer or they're this type of business, right? And that kills potential business. It kills potential business. So if your brand isn't positioned correctly, you're never going to get a chance with those people. And that's a huge problem. I see it day in and day out with some of these Facebook ads that I get targeted with. Right? They're promising these 6-figure, closes and 6-figure this and 6-figure that, and you'll be able to live the life of your dreams doing this and that. Like what? Like, it's just nonsense. Don't let me get off tangent here because I have a tendency to do that. But today's daily gem is simple. Don't make the same mistake I did by not positioning your brand properly. I'll give you a quick example. If you want to date supermodels, you can't show up to the date looking like a bum. Right? That's the simplicity of it all, right? But yeah, you have to make sure that you're getting this right, because if you're not, you're sunk. You're sunk. So in my brand audit service, you guys know I was going to bring this up, but in my brand audit service, I take a look at how your brand's positioned right now today and see where lies the problems, where lies the deficiencies, and then I give you some practical ways on how to switch it, how to change it. Simple tweaks can move mountains. You've heard me say that 1,000 times. So with the brand audit service, I basically come in, I look around, this could change, that could change. You're doing this good, this looks okay. I would continue doing more of this because this is going to get you what you want, which is what? The right client to work with. Right? So there you have it, guys. Today's Daily Gem. It's all about brand positioning. Make sure you don't pigeonhole yourself. Make sure that you have your brand positioned in a certain way that aligns with your clients' values and what it is that they're looking for, because at the end of the day, we want to work with people that are similar to us. And it's always going to be that way. That is the foundation of branding, is if your brand can align with the values that of those folks that you truly want to work with, it's a happy marriage. So get out there today, take a peek at your brand's positioning and see where it may be off. And if you need some more help, I'll leave the link below. Pop in for a brand audit. It's 30 minutes of you and I working together to help you get on track so that you can start attracting the clients that you deserve. So have an awesome day, guys. Hope you get some value out of this. Drop some comments or questions below, and I'd be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. Talk to you soon, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.